everybody. Here we are. Sorry if it's a bit windy. We're on the quayside at Christchurch in Dorset. We're just about to go and do a paranormal investigation and hopefully the release of an earthbound spirit that's been causing the household a few problems. You all know me by now from all the other videos. This is Luke Cox. I'd like to formally introduce him to you for the first time, who's coming as my co-presenter. So, hi Luke.
Hello.
Nice to have you on board. John is behind the camera as normal. I don't know if you want to turn around and show yourself.
I don't even know if it's on me.
Not quite. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he's there. So, it's a lovely sunny evening. Welcome to SpiritShackTV.
Okay, this is Priory Gardens. You've got Priory Church over to the right there, and a lot of spiritual activities happen here, and where miracles happen.
Here we are, we've had our little trip around Christchurch, which you'll have seen John do, and we're now at the home where we have come to do the investigation. We have no idea what's going to happen, but Luke and I are already beginning to pick up certain energies in the area. What's going to make it very interesting, of course, is the sign above the door, which John will zoom in on as we get to the door. Just a bit of brief history. This area, now called Purewell, used to be called Tyneham back in the old days of the former Christchurch, and this particular area was synonymous with a few little hamlets where at numerous points in history the political powers that be, and the church of course, have gone in, dragged people out of their houses and have tried them for witchcraft. Mostly women, but occasionally men as well. This was the site of numerous trials in that particular pond underneath this very road, where witches were put into the ducking stool to see if they were actually witches or not. So it's going to be interesting to see what we find as we go through the investigation. Let's go in and meet the family, but do have a look at the sign over the door. It's quite funny. So for those of you who may have poor eyesight, this one says "Welcome to Hell," and this brass one says "The Devil's Playground." But they're nicely protected by a green man, so let's see what's inside. Hiya, we're here at last. I mean, you know me, I'm Barry. This is Luke. This is my support investigator. And John's behind the camera.
Hello.
Do you want us to take our shoes off? No. Well, here we are, sat inside a lounge. It's a very comfortable lounge. It's a typical family home. Nothing that you would expect to be otherwise. As often people seem to think that when we go on these investigations we're going to walk into high Gothic houses with Dracula swinging from the lamps and Frankenstein banging around upstairs. The only banging we're likely to hear is one of the children playing with the rabbits and the cats, or each other. And I do have to say though, there is a vampire in the house, but it's the lady who owns the house here who is going to tell us a bit about that. She's not really a vampire, she's a psychic vampire. But just to tell you a little bit about the equipment we've got on use at the moment. We've got this camera which John is using to film these open shots with, and there's another video camera over to the side. And on the tables we have, on this oak coffee table in front of us, and in the distance near the two big chairs, we have two EMF machines. If you've not come across those before, those are electromagnetic frequency detectors, and what they do is they can pick up on spirit energy, latent spirit energy in the vicinity of where they are, and if spirit do go past them, the lights on there will systematically rise from green to amber to red as they get closer. Red is not a symbol of danger, red's just a symbol that they're very, very strong in energy. And the reason we use those is more for a visual aid, because discarnate spirits, ghosts, entities, whatever words you want to ascribe to them, are working on a much finer vibration, electrically speaking, than we are. We are a mass of electrical atoms and neutrons, as is everything else that exists. And it's the same in the spirit world. It's just free of our physical heavy bodies. That energy tends to vibrate at a much faster and finer rate. So, would you like to tell us a little bit about why you invited us in to undertake a clearing and a cleansing of the house and a blessing of the home? A bit about your background as a family, maybe.
I invited you in because when I was before I got pregnant with my youngest, I was really desperate to have a baby. I tried all the conventional ways, and then I tried some of the non-conventional ways, and I turned to witchcraft and spell casting, and I'm not a very well practiced one, and I think I may have done it wrong. I invited spirits in, I asked for their help, I got hold of one called Shadin. It wasn't like talking as I'm talking to you. The conversation, I think, happened in my head. I don't know what I guaranteed them in return for the child, but I got given one.
When you said that you offered them this Shadin spirit something in return for falling pregnant, can you elaborate on that a little bit? Did they ask you for something, or?
She just wanted company. They just wanted out. Wanted to hang around for a while. I think they've hanged around a little bit too long now. They just wanted to interact. They just wanted company, basically.
Right. And this was, if I remember, your youngest is 4 now?
Yeah, it's 5 in October.
5 in October, so he's a sprightly little lad, I know that much. Very full of energy. Have you felt or heard mentally, as you said, from this Shadin character since then? Have you had any activity in the house that you could perhaps relate to spirit?
We've had the taps in the kitchen come on late at night, both taps, and the tap, the font vane had been turned to the wall, so it flooded my kitchen.
Right.
And we're all upstairs, so there was no possibility of anybody turning the taps on.
And it couldn't have been one of the cats?
I did think it might be the cats, but to turn on 2 taps and then turn it towards the wall would take a very clever cat.
That's true. The reason I asked, I wasn't disbelieving you, because we've seen a lot more than that happen in people's homes, and it's been spirit presence, is that we always try and discount natural physical phenomena. Sometimes people will say they hear banging of a night, and when we come to do the vigil, it turns out they've got airlocks in their radiators, but they hadn't actually thought about it. So that we always look for a natural reason first, rather than jumping to the fact that there is spirit. But I think, thank you for telling us that. I think it's fair to say though, Luke, isn't it, that when we were outside, we both felt quite a strong energy.
Yeah.
Would you like to say a bit about what you felt yourself?
As soon as we got out of the car and stood by the roadside, we felt a very strong energy, almost to the point that it was making us move a little bit. And then we came to the front door and we felt it stronger.
Yeah, I have to say, I felt that was quite an oppressive energy myself, but when we actually came through the front door, I don't know if you agree, that oppressive nature stopped. It's not as if it followed us into the house.
No.
I must say, when we arrived and we stood outside and did that little piece to camera where we pointed out the name of the house, which as you can see is not true, it's a bit tongue-in-cheek, we were I certainly was very aware of a strong and not necessarily friendly energy, but it was outside the property, and I believe myself, I don't know what Luke's opinion is on this, but I believe that this was a passing energy that simply got attracted to the fact that there were 2 mediums stood there with our lights on, as it were, saying, come and talk to us, and it made its presence felt. But as we walked through the front door into the house and the door shut behind us, it certainly didn't follow us, and there was certainly no sense from my perspective of any negative energy in this building. What do you think, Luke?
I think that's absolutely right, Barry. When we stood out there, I almost got the feeling like we were sort of like shaking around and almost being moved. But once we come through the front door, I felt a really positive and a nice homely feeling.
Yeah, very much so. And you can tell from the slight banging and crashing upstairs that it is a friendly house, it's a loving house, and there's a nice family in this premises. And I'm not just saying it because two are sat opposite us, I'm saying it because it's genuinely how we feel. So, anything else you want to add about other experiences other than nearly drowning the kitchen?
We have smells, we have different fragrances suddenly just appear and then disappear, and feelings. You sort of can feel that you're not quite alone, but there isn't anybody else. Especially when the kids are all at school and it's just me, I sort of feel like someone just passes through. Right.
I think that's quite possible because you told us yourself off camera and indeed on camera that you have communicated with spirit on quite a number of occasions. You said you're not, I think to use the right words, formally trained?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not formally trained.
Okay, so you've not sat in circle or developed it. But it's more like you're an empathic spirit connector. It comes to you as a natural part of who you are. So I'm going to ask Luke if he would just walk around the ground floor of the property. It won't take long. There's a lounge diner here, there's a kitchen off to one side, and then there's a small entrance hall, and see if he picks up anything holding this EMF device as well. And then we'll see what we pick up. If we do pick up anything, we'll work on that. But if not, we'll then go into a darkness by extinguishing all the electric lights, drawing the curtains, and we will do a normal vigil. Hopefully, if there are any entities here, they will come and speak either through Luke or through myself.
Hello, here we have an EMF machine to pick up any vibrations. And we've also got a penny on the table with a line round it. We've drawn a line round it so you can see what it is. If Spirit would like to move it at all, feel free.
There's one over here.
We're now going through to the dining room, and there's another one there.
Strike an atrium and see what you feel as well.
In here I feel a female energy. I've got the presence of like a gingery blonde colour hair, quite a short lady, probably about this high, very well dressed, and she comes in love and light. Whether it's connected to the lady here or whether it's someone that's already here, but I can feel her coming in quite strong, and she's a very nice lady. Oh, I suddenly feel like I'm being poked in the eye.
Okay, just for the benefit of everybody, this was the taps that were being talked about being turned to one side and on full blast, which flooded the kitchen out. Do you feel anything else?
I feel there may be a ley line going through here. I feel it going through here and down the front of the house. Something's going through here. But again, I feel positive energy. I get a cold feeling in here, almost like a cooling down feeling.
It is.
Like
I can feel that as well,
cooling me
actually.
down. I'm just going to see what else I can feel in here. I get the feeling there's a lot of energy attracted around the top of the tap. Because I think the ley line goes from out there down here and then curves out the front, which is where we felt all the energy. A ley line is a natural underground energy field that passes through underground, and you can tap into ley lines when you're doing spiritual work. You get a lot of ley lines in spiritual churches where they're built and the ley line goes through the platform, And also you can get a lot of ley lines in all sorts of places, churches. Ley lines can be made through building a great big hill, and you get a ley line that directs it. Yeah, so you can get ley lines anywhere. Sometimes when you get ley lines going through people's houses, it's good to do a cleansing exercise and then put clear quartz in each corners of the room to help divert the ley line. So the ley line diverts around the room and goes off in a different direction.
So it's historic, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
From before the house was here?
Yeah. It's something that used to be here before the house. I get the feeling of a lot of positivity, but there is something lingering from like mid 20th century. I can currently feel the energy in this corner building up. This is where all the most energy is, and it really is strong. Even when I stand up, I can feel it more here. I feel very strong, lots of vibration coming up.
I can feel it too, I'm not even a medium.
What I might do is get the pendulum out and test the energy.
Mm.
See, this is where the energy is most strongest. Look at that go.
Yeah.
There's something going on in this spot. There's lots of energy. Oh yeah, lots of energy there. And then if I use it over here, just here, test the energies here. Yeah.
It's quite strong there as well.
Mm. Very strong.
Which is also on the ley line.
Mm. And I get the feeling that this may be the lady's energy, because she is sat directly behind me.
Mm.
And that's given me a no. So Spirit has told me that is not the lady's energy. It is a ley line. Is there a ley line going through here? It is going in circles, so that is a yes for me. Yep, there is lots of energy over here. In fact, the way it goes, I feel like there may be a cross ley line, 2 ley lines coming in and going out that way.
You're actually very close. There is a cross ley line at the very end of this close.
Oh, I see.
One that goes from Christchurch Priory up to Winchester Cathedral,
Mm.
straight through there, and one from Castle Hill in Burley, which is where we're doing the Halloween vigil,
All right.
over to part of Southbourne Cliffs, and then out to Old Harry Rocks,
Okay.
which is the far side of Poole Bay. So there is a historical cross lay just at the end of
Just
this
down
close, and
there.
this close is only what, about 10 houses deep.
So they could.
Yeah, so you would feel that you would still
Yeah.
feel the latent energy of the cross anywhere
Oh, I
around
see.
here.
So there is any. So there could be little ley lines coming into this.
Very easily, yeah.
Yeah. So
And I
it
can
could
see
be.
you, that lady is next to you now. I would
Mm.
say she was about 5, 3 or 4 when she was on Earth, one with the gingery hair.
If it's my sister, she died just after that, but she did have ginger hair.
Okay.
Right. She was your younger.
She
Your
was
younger
13
sister.
years younger than me.
Right.
Okay.
If you was
Wow, that's really spinning now. Look at that.
Mm.
Because
Try to
when
keep your
saw
hand
her
as still as you can.
She had ginger hair.
Mm-hmm.
See that?
So there's
Angela
someone
moving?
coming in on a love vibration.
No, it's not a necklace. It's a piece
It's all
of jade.
positive stuff.
I've got them upstairs, honey.
Jade?
No.
Oh,
Prisms.
you have a necklace where you can change your jet acid.
accept the name of, and it's not the one we were talking about at home,
Okay.
which is in my own family, but can you accept the name of Elizabeth?
Yes.
You can in your family, on the spirit side of life.
Yes.
And I feel with this, I want to say spirit soul, I don't want to say lady, I don't want to say girl, but of course we all continue to grow when we return to spirit, but there's a maturity about this lovely, I'll say lady for now, this lovely lady that would have belied her years.
Yeah.
Do you understand? I get the feeling that her passing, the way she's giving it to me, there was a connection between her brain and her heart. It's as if something happened up here that stopped that.
A heart gave out.
Right. And I also get the feeling, a sense that she feels she was on her own at the time and didn't get a chance to say goodbye to everybody she needed to say goodbye to.
Yeah.
Would that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Since her time in spirit, she tells me that she's worked a lot with children who are taken to spirit, we would say too soon, sort of premature babies, or children who die in childbirth, as two of my own children did, or of a childhood illness. And she works specifically with those souls who are finding it hard to accept that they've left people behind as they see it. Would that make sense?
Yeah.
And this feeling of being on her own when she passed away, mentally certainly, she felt she was quite alone, and she was going into this without any real sense of knowing where she was going. But when she got there, it was as if she'd never left.
Probably.
That may be something that you wouldn't know. But
My sister was supposed to be called Elizabeth, but when my dad went to register, he got so upset. She was supposed to be Elizabeth Mary, but he called her Mary Elizabeth.
okay. Oh, is this
My
the
sister.
lady that Luke
Yeah.
picked up as well with the
Yeah.
the golden
It's
colour?
really Elizabeth.
Right.
I know.
Okay. I have to say that I feel that she is the predominant spirit present in this property, and I don't think for 1 minute there's a reason to send her on her way. She knows where she is.
Yeah.
She knows she's in spirit, but there was something specific about her conception. It was almost if it was an unexpected blessing.
Yes, she was.
Right.
She came late to my mum.
Okay. But the very act of her being conceived healed a rift between mum and dad. They've become a little disjointed. Would that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And obviously the substance of her passing, which could have destroyed them completely, actually ended up making them stronger, and made, I believe, from what she's giving me, your father more open with his affection.
He knew what he'd lost, yes.
But you can understand that possibly, obviously you were alive when she was conceived, yes?
Yeah.
Would you understand that he was very much a man's man? He may still be around,
Yes.
she's not telling me, but she's going back to that time that he was very much a man's man, and it was the woman's place to bring the children up, and it was the dad's place to discipline and to provide for. It was very old-fashioned ideas in a way,
Yes.
and that he had, until that point, quite a bit of... would you like to go and
Stay low down.
No, there's some
see
there.
what's going on?
I can edit it out.
Don't worry. Slight technical hitch, people. It might be that he's picking up on it.
Yeah, it might.
Could I encourage just a little bit more more volume from you, Nicola, when you're answering questions, only for the benefit of the camera over here,
Okay.
because it's, I don't know, it doesn't pick up volume as well as we would like, essentially.
Okay.
But I've positioned that one on you anyway, so that if the audio doesn't come out crystal clear on this one, I've got that one as well. So
Okay.
Okay, but are you still filming?
yeah, it's still filming out, wasn't it?
So going back to what I was saying, you will have seen a slight edit, people, because one of the children upstairs, the youngest one I think, just seemed to get quite emotional at that point. It could well be because this spirit soul is strongly present in the house, and as a young child and coming most recently back from spirit into physical form, he may be picking up on the emotion. But the emotion is all positive, there's nothing negative. But going back to what I was saying, would you be able to accept, and please say no if it's not the case, but this is what she's giving off to me. I don't know if you can feel her as well, Luke, but the dad was, prior to this, quite, he held his affection, his open affections quite back. He was very loving,
Yeah.
but he had she says, it's not quite the right words, but she can't think of ones that fit better, almost cold and austere to people who perhaps saw him with you
Stoic.
as a father.
He's my stepdad. He wasn't my natural dad. He was her natural dad.
But that after that, there was a bringing together and
Yeah.
a much closer bond.
There was,
Yeah. And she's saying that was her purpose. That's the reason she came. There was never an intention for your mum to fall pregnant. You say that she fell pregnant quite late in life with Elizabeth Mary, or Mary Elizabeth, as she was put on her birth certificate. I believe from what she was saying, she volunteered to come into incarnation on the earth, to go through what is, on this side of life, something very tragic. Very, very depressing and very upsetting for the parents and for the family, who are all excited at this little bundle that's about to appear, whether by the stalk or through the magic of the NHS. And I know from my own experience, having lost my ex-wife and my two middle children, that our second and our fourth child, that the emotion can be so intense it can be almost devastating, and people never recover from it. But her purpose in coming was to heal that rift. Would you accept that mum and stepdad were
they were thinking about divorce.
right, so they were actually quite separate from me, not necessarily physically separate, but they were having issues within their relationship.
Yeah.
And that was another reason for it, not only to bring the family together, but to heal the rift. I think I said that before, actually, her words. She does flit around. She's saying she's quite lively, and you can guess who's inherited that. For the benefit of the camera, that's the youngest child, the one you heard getting upset.
Mm-hmm.
But I think all the children in this house are quite lively, and there's one behind the camera who's certainly very vocal in his opinions, and good on you, keep being it. But she is very close, and she is watching and supporting, and she's actually working particularly with the one I just mentioned. She's saying to you, young man, that you need to focus a bit more when you're in the lessons you don't enjoy.
Come on. That's not my mum.
But do you understand that?
Yes, I hate
Do you get a bit of stick from your teachers for it? Because
homework.
you'd rather be mucking about than...
Yeah, homework mainly.
Right, okay. Well, she's saying it's a very important part of your life, and you need to concentrate even on the stuff you don't like. But she's going to stand by you, and she's going to make sure that you do fine, and you are going to surprise everybody in the family, because you're going to go on and do really good things in your life, because you're a good person. Okay? So she would have been Auntie Elizabeth, I suppose. Yeah. So if you ever feel that you're having a down moment in your classes, and you really don't want to do geography, there was an orb just went over his head. Did you see that?
Geography? How do you know I don't like geography?
Well, she's just told me. You don't like geography. Is that right?
I hate geography. Worst teacher ever.
Right. I don't know that. When did I first meet you? About an hour and a half ago?
I would say about an hour and 15 minutes.
See? Oh, gotta have the last word, haven't you? She knows you don't enjoy geography, but she'll be with you, right next to you, making sure. Don't tell everybody that Auntie Elizabeth's there, because they'll think you've gone cuckoo, because they won't be able to see her. But she'll be there and she'll be making sure that you actually get on with it and do it properly, and you're going to do really well. Just a little bit of concentration more than you do. She's also saying something about an apple at school.
What?
An apple. Have you used an apple as a cricket ball or something?
I don't play cricket.
You did when Mikey and that lived here. You used everything on that cricket bat.
Right.
Eggs, apples, stones.
The egg was my biggest mistake. I thought I could hit it.
She's saying apples are fruit to keep you well and healthy.
I like
They're
apples.
not toys for
I
cricket.
I-
So I'm just saying. She's just saying it because she wants to let you know that she's around.
I keep
Okay. And to you, she doesn't need to send you her love. She says because she knows that you send it to her, and you should know by now that they all send it to you. Sorry?
So it's nice to know.
Well,
Yeah.
they have nothing bad to say.
That's like.
But she says there have been some spirits here, and they have been moving around. By the way, Elizabeth, while you're here, if you can make that green light on the table move, increase, or if you can make the penny move on the table out of its circle, or if you'd like to say something into this phone device next to it, nearest me, we won't be able to hear it now, but if we do pick up your voice speaking through it, we will make sure that your sister gets to hear it.
Do you want to ask a few
And you're a
questions?
film star. Would you like to ask any questions of her? Just for her to answer into there. But remember, speak loudly for the camera as well. She can hear you if she
Try and
wants
do
to.
it like crying. Does she blame me?
I don't know if the camera heard that, but Nicola said, does Elizabeth, so do you blame Nicola? What for? For dying? Well,
when she said that, I got a big no.
I could have said that anyway. Spirits aren't vindictive. She came with this purpose. She knew what she was doing and she knew what would happen, that she'd go back. And she's quite happy being back working with the kids. Have you worked with kids?
Yeah, I did. I did I did YTS at a nursery
Right, okay.
for a while.
And it was a happy time for you?
Wait, what?
Because you were able to impart your fun
Yeah.
side.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it.
And you could get down to their level.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. She said no, it's more the other way. They got down to your level. Yeah. But you do have a fun side of you that she says she doesn't see so much these days, and she wished she did. Because when you let yourself go and stop worrying about everything, especially about that letter you've got that you've opened, you've read it quickly, and you've put it somewhere for safekeeping. It's not being filed under T for trash, but you can't keep putting it off. You need to deal with it. Do you understand? Something quite official, and it's relating to the house.
Yeah, I'm in trouble with my council tax, and
Right.
I've just put the letter up there and ignored it.
Right. Well, I felt there was a bookcase over there. Is it up there on that door?
Yeah.
Don't hesitate. Get in touch with them. They'll help you. But they know. You see, they're around us all the time. If you've got any other questions you want to ask her, as I say, you can ask her if you want to move the penny.
We've got roughly 15 to 20 minutes left, so if you want to try and do an EMF session or an EVP session.
Well, we can do it as we're here now. We're going to do that in a minute.
Yeah. Just to let you know, Nicola, when we do an EVP session, because sometimes it's difficult for them to communicate, once we've asked what we ask, we then usually leave around about 10 seconds of just complete silence so they've got time to answer.
Okay.
Who passed from stomach cancer? I'm going back to grandparents'
Yeah, my
generation now.
granddad died from
Or pancreatic, it's somewhere
Yeah.
here. Right.
it was
Okay.
liver cancer.
Oh, right, okay. quite a military gentleman
Well,
in character.
yes,
quite
he
upright,
wanted to be. He tried
and
to be.
he tried to keep that. He tried to live a military life without actually being military.
Yes, he got thrown out for keep going absent without leave in the Second World War.
Well, he's coming back now to say the pain's gone, and as he said it, the pain's gone from my stomach area, but I felt it very strongly there just for a moment. He just wanted to come in and said he's here as well because he's looking after Nipper.
Okay.
Okay, and I think he means little one.
Okay.
And he says dogs are only ever as bad as their bark. Their bite really is toothless in relation to somebody we were talking about earlier on. I won't say who it was, but you know who I mean, just in case they happen to watch the film.
Yes.
But they are, what he's trying to say is they're all around you because they want to make sure you're happy and you're contented. I'm going to ask Luke. Luke, have you got any links or anything that you want to say?
I've got a Claire in the room. Can you take a Claire in the spirit world?
That's the name of my ex-partner's mum.
Okay, she's coming through with a lot of love and given her love to you. I can't tell you what she passed off, but I'm directed to the sort of throat in this area.
I don't know why she died.
Can I just interject briefly? Would you understand, when Luke says she comes to give a lot of love, thinking that she's your mother of your ex-partner, you might think that she wouldn't. But would you accept that she was closer to you than she was to her son?
I never met her. She died suddenly Christmas Day a couple of years ago, but even though he's my ex, I still really look after him because he needs looking after.
Mothering.
Yes.
She's thanking you for that.
I am kind of like his substitute mother now.
Okay. Right, do you have any questions you'd like to ask?
No, I think you've answered everything.
I've got to be perfectly honest. I don't think we have anybody to remove. There was another orb just went past there. I hope it gets picked up on the camera because your son has teams of them around him and John at the moment, which is good. It just shows there's a lot of spirit love there. I think I think I can say with absolute confidence that what worried you regarding your youngest child is without foundation. We all do silly things. My mum smoked like a chimney when I was being born. She's 4'8", is she, John? 4'10"? I'm 6'5".
I don't know.
Didn't do
I think
any
it's
harm
about
to me.
3 foot nothing.
Yeah, she you know,
She'll
turns
probably slap me
sideways,
when
you
she
can't
watches
even
this
see
back
it.
now.
And she always blamed herself for the fact that I had a stroke when I was 36 because she smoked when she was pregnant with me. No, she didn't. Yes, we know nowadays it's a very silly thing to do, and there's a lot of mothers and a lot of fathers who regret the choices we've made in the past. But I think the overriding message that's coming from Claire and from Elizabeth and from Gramps is that what has happened in life, and there's nothing you can do to change it. All you can do is learn from experiences.
Oh gosh, the
and make sure
meter's
you
just
move on.
gone crazy.
What?
The meter just went almost all the way up to the top.
This one?
Yeah, if you want to try and interact with it,
Would
maybe.
you like, if whoever that was, would you like to do that again, please? Because we can't see it on our side.
I just
So
saw red.
Yeah, you saw it.
if you
Yeah, it's doing it again. It's all the way at the top.
right, if that's Elizabeth,
Yeah.
And again, yeah.
Elizabeth, if that is you
Do it
on
twice.
your own, just concentrate yourself on those lights on the table, please, my love. And if you can, reduce them down to just the green lights.
No,
and
it's on the
hold
green.
them there.
It's on the one green light now.
Can you make it 2 green lights and only that, please, Elizabeth, if it is you? Tell us if it happens, please.
No.
No, nothing.
All right, Elizabeth, if you'd like to stand back. Claire, if it was you making the lights move, can you make 2 green lights light up, please? It will do you no harm. You can go and touch it.
No. I think it was
Or you can
Grandad you were
move the
talking about.
penny. Gramps, was it you, sir? Military gentleman with no military background, because you kept going absolute naughty man. I'm an ex-RAF policeman.
I think maybe it's probably very difficult
Right.
to raise it by just one notch.
If there was another spirit entity here in the room that we haven't yet spoken to, who made the lights move, can you bring it full up to red again, please? Or move the penny on this table or that table, or speak into my phone and we will pick it up later.
I think there's a big Labrador here too.
Labrador?
Mm.
You have a Labrador?
Mum, didn't you say you had a pet Labrador when you were younger?
Yes, we had one called Bracken.
Yeah, it's here. I think that might be the one that moved the light.
Was it you, Bracken? Whichever dog or cats or animals are here. Or is it one of my guides? Or family members? Is it one of Luke's?
You sure it wasn't?
Is it my dad?
Because Elizabeth, weren't you talking about Elizabeth when it happened?
Elizabeth, Claire, Gramps, all of you who have joined in tonight, can you just make those lights move once more again? Make them flash for us, make them sing and dance, or perhaps move the penny.
It's not
This
Luke.
one. Going to orange.
Yes, it is.
It is?
Bless you, my
It went
friend.
to orange.
Thank you very much. Do you want them to leave the house and leave you alone? Then,
Okay, would you
Just
like
say
to
it
try?
out loud
Would you
that
like
you're
to
very
try?
happy for them to stay.
I'm very happy for you all to stay.
Because they come in love. I think it's just been a bit chaotic because you've got 3 kids in the house. Plus all the vagrants that come in who want to play with the 3 kids.
Just
And then there's your other half. It's just a chaotic house.
to make things easier, if I actually put this one here as well, and then they can focus around it.
Can you lie them?
Green ones.
I can't lie them down because you wouldn't see it on camera then. Right, go on then guys, just as one final burst, you've got 2 machines there, knock yourselves out. Make the lights shine and dance, move the penny, or
Have some fun.
leave comments on my phone.
Go on YouTube.
We'll just give you a few more seconds to try and make those lights dance again. You've done so well, my friends. We're so grateful that you have. Can't wait to see it.
I know.
It's because we can't see it, can we?
I know.
So it's gone right up to red.
Yeah, when I got
That's
to
fantastic.
All the way to the
Like this.
top, yeah.
like real quick,
my
like
friends.
just did it a few
Yeah,
times.
it went up and then it stayed up for about half a second, then went back down.
Brilliant.
Did it again.
But it responded 3 times to you.
That's excellent.
And then this one went up to amber
Yeah.
on
Is
here.
that your brother making that screaming noise?
Probably.
Right. Is it because he's very tired?
Probably, but
Would
I
you-
don't know
would-
how he gets
we-
tired.
We won't close until your mum gets and you get back.
Mm.
Would you just like to tell her that we're just going to finish now, and then she can do whatever she wants to do?
Okay. Shall I go upstairs?
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I can pause it and trim it and edit stuff out and stuff. I'm just wondering if it's worth me sitting.
Don't pause it. It's all right.
No, I'm
Do you want to
not.
see if it goes again?
I'm not pausing it, but if I go and sit here, although I'm off shot, I can tell you if it's responding.
Right, friends in spirit, Claire, Elizabeth, Gramps,
The
anybody
universe
else
is
who
really
is
getting
here.
out
It is. It's really building up. Thank you so much. Look at the
Yeah.
conversation.
One of them just reacted. It went up to 2 lights, the left-hand one.
Are you happy to have
Lucas,
been
guys,
here?
Marley, are you able to help give them some energy? Yeah, I did it again.
We'd really like, if you can, to stop the lights now and go to the penny. Can you move the penny out of the circle? It doesn't matter if it's the tiniest little part. It'll make no difference to us. I say we're just going to close in prayer now if you're happy with that, Nicola.
Just want to see if there's anybody else that wants to speak through the EMF meter.
Or leave
Or move the penny.
Or leave
or-
comments, or please, if you can, both of the machines have just lit up apparently while you were out of the room. I say Luke and I can't see them from this side, but we'll see it in the video when we get back.
Is it somebody who wants to contact Nicola?
Is there any spirit here that wants to cause mischief or to be unpleasant? If so, move the penny. Concentrate on the penny and move it. If you're a bad spirit,
Yeah.
you will do.
It's just gone up to amber on the penny, so it is around the penny, and it's flickering on.
Is there a negative energy here that wants to cause trouble in this house?
Move the EMF meter to the top, please. Either one, if there is an energy that shouldn't be here. I just saw a massive orb on the camera.
Yeah, it's all right. Right, negative energy. Right, let's go back to the people we've been speaking to. Let's not confuse the issue.
Okay.
Elizabeth, Claire, Gramps, will you keep this house blessed, safe and secure from all negative energy? Now, I'll tell her that in a minute. Elizabeth just said, stop playing with things. If you want to work with spirit, do it properly.
Whoa!
With me?
That just went right to the top.
Yes.
Both
Yeah,
of
it's not they're not criticising. They're just saying that sometimes it's like people who play with Ouija boards who think it's a bit of fun. It's not. It's incredibly serious, and not you, but whoever does it, if they do it without having gone through the right training, they could cause themselves a lot of negative energy.
It's agreeing with you. If you ever wanted to do that kind of thing, I'm sure Barry and Luke would be happy to sit in, because they can protect from anything negative.
We're starting a circle.
And it's just agreed again, it's just gone up again.
So you're very welcome to join that as well. Again, we don't charge for it. It's over at
Oh my
place in
God.
Kinston. Oh.
Sorry, I just saw another huge orb.
Yeah, there's orbs aplenty in here. So friends, we're so grateful to you for bringing in this protection. We will just quickly sage round the ground floor whilst, if Nicola's kind enough to make us a drink, and we will bid you a good night, and God bless you and all those loving spirits. Should we just close? Unless there's anything else you want to ask, Nicola, remember, quite loud please if you can. Is there anything else you'd like to say to them?
No.
Are you happy?
Yeah.
Good. That's all we hope for. So I'll
And
just
thank
close
you,
them.
everybody. And
Thank
it's responding again. Thank
you, friends. Thank you.
Bless you.
Right. I'll just say a closing prayer. Divine and ever-loving Spirit, known by many names, but who I call Father and Mother God, thank you for this wonderful experience tonight, for the movement on our machinery, for the potential of voices on our EVP app, for the movement of orbs, for the presence of our dear friends in spirit. In particular, we thank Elizabeth and Claire and Bracken, was it?
Yeah.
And Gramps. Thank you all for doing such wonderful work on those EMF machines, and for bringing such love to Nicola and the family. Keep them safe.
And thank you for the constant orbs that you keep putting through. Sorry.
Keep them safe and hold them in your protection. And may your protection always be divinely governed by that supreme light for life that we call God, who is, always, was, and will forever be love. So may it be. Amen.
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 Wow.
With that, boys, girls, teddy bears, and all you shackers out there, thank you for tuning in tonight. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen. There will be a short that follows this at some point, explaining some of the finer points of the equipment that we've used. If you like what you see, please click like. Please share it with all your friends, family and loved ones. Subscribe to the channel so you get more. Don't forget the competition that's now in place for a chance to work with Luke and myself, or with John and Martin behind the scenes, and visit us again. By all means, leave a comment at the bottom of the video stream, and until we see you again, God bless you. That's it.
I was still watching the orbs going past.
I can see energy on
There's
the
still
table.
there's so many orbs that keep passing.
I know, but we have to draw a close.
I know. I know.
So are you?
Machines are still going.
Oh! Ooh, I haven't touched it. Where's the ordinary light? Oh, there is an ordinary.
Wow. Yeah, that was not.
So there you are, friends. Just the last bit, which we'll edit back into it. The penny. See, you can see, Nicola, the penny's moved out of the circle.
Yeah.
Superb.
What would you like to drink?
I'm quite happy with a glass of water, thank you. Because I need to cleanse myself after that.
Just some water would be great, thank you.
What would you like?
I'm